Hi, everyone, and welcome to this presentation. My name is Annie Go. I'm the course leader of BA Sound Arts. And today's presentation is to give you an overview of the two pathways that we have here, which are BA Sound Arts with Design and BA Sound Arts with Experimental Music. A few words about myself to begin with. I'm a sound artist and a researcher. On the slide, you can see some of the projects that I've been involved in recent years. My work has interested itself with the issues of sound, gender and technology. That's a forthcoming book of mine alongside Dr. Marie Thompson called Sonic Cyberfeminisms. I have researched acoustic archaeology and myths of echo. I perform live computer music and live electronics, and I also publish research in various forms. At the BA Sound Arts at LCC, we offer a really unique learning experience, unlike offers out there. We've got a really rich heritage of sound arts. The BA course has been running for over 20 years. We have really close links with the CRISAP Creative Research into Sound Arts Practice Research Centre, which has been running for many decades now. And we have an MA Sound Arts too. So it's a really vibrant learning atmosphere. You will graduate after this course with a really solid creative education, as well as a really brilliant set of skills enabling you to establish careers in a variety of contexts. You might go on to be an artist or a creative worker in other contexts, such as film sound, sound design for games, theatre, virtual reality, film, and so forth. We have students who've gone on to be successful artists and recording musicians too. With the right course for you, if you want to work creatively in sound, in a really explorative and expansive way, as well as being at the brilliant University of Arts London. So on the course, we cover really diverse ways that you can work with sound creatively in the contemporary world. And we encourage you to produce original pieces of work which can span a huge variety of artistic areas. So the sorts of students we're looking for can come from a variety of backgrounds. You don't have to have prior experience. You don't need to know your way around a digital audio workstation or a DAW already. Many of our students do, however. Lots of our students come from a background of being a musician or a DJ or an instrumentalist or a vocalist or a performer in other contexts. Not all of them though. Some of them come from a fine art background or a design background, and they've had sound and music as their hobby, being in a band or making music as a kind of bedroom producer. What we really want to nurture is that creative exploration in sound. So if that's you, then this course might be for you. We really encourage kind of curiosity and open-mindedness with regards to all of these things. We kind of want to welcome the next generation of sound artists to really push the boundaries of what sound arts can be. I'm interested in sound arts, as I've explained a bit about my work, because I'm really fascinated in how questions of listening can help us arrive at different conclusions than the other senses, for example, seeing. And I'm really kind of interested in questions of how sound and listening kind of make us human, what we can learn about ourselves through examining, for example, histories of sound and listening through archaeology and thinking about kind of thousands of years ago and deep kind of dives into time. So on the course, you'll be exploring sound art as a really vibrant international phenomenon. And we encourage students to be really independent in leading what they're interested in. So your analysis, your creativity is at the center of what you will do here with us. You'll look at and listen to the different ways that sound is used in the contemporary world, and your creativity is really nurtured to produce original pieces of work across loads of different areas, such as fine art, sound studies, art installation and gallery settings, audiovisual works, game works and virtual reality, community projects as well, soundscape pieces, interactive works, experimental music as well. What the course does is it gives you this breadth of context to develop your technical, creative, and theoretical knowledges alongside one another to make sure you're kind of a well-rounded individual in your creative practice by the time you graduate. So we do a lot around kind of aesthetics, cultural theory, and philosophy to give you that kind of foundational basis of being in an arts university whilst developing those essential skills around sound production. Another asset of our course is that we're quite a small course, so the classes tend to range between 20 and 30 students. This enables us to be really flexible with the content. So if we notice a trend in what students are interested in, we can adapt the content and delivery to respond to that. On this next slide, you'll see the range of topics that we cover on the course. So if you see anything here that speaks to you, these are just some of the things that we cover. These are some of the tutors on the course. So alongside myself, we have really fantastic range of academic tutors who are all practicing sound artists and musicians, sound designers in their own right. And we're very lucky to be able to have them teaching into the course. We also have a really close relationship, as mentioned, with the MA Sound Arts, as well as the CRISAP Research Centre, which has loads of PhD students and postdoctoral researchers, as well as professors and readers who are often delivering workshops into the course. This is just to show you the course diagrams of both of the pathways. So this one is for BA Sound Arts Design. This next one is BA Sound Arts Experimental Music. It's important to emphasize that we are one course with two pathways. So a lot of the units are shared. You'll see that the main pathway options occur in the second half of the first year, as well as in the second half of the second year. But there's actually also options in the first half of the second year where you take your specialist elective that enables you to kind of focus on one specific area in sound and music. The Sound Arts Design course is rooted in a sound arts curriculum. So as I've explained, it's really kind of broad range of field. However, we are really helping you to develop sound design and production skills and preparing you for working as a sound designer in the creative industries upon graduation. So some of our graduates have gone on to work in film, TV, games, theatre, and broadcast media. And what we're bringing to you is this kind of fine arts perspective, sensibility around aesthetics, contemporary art, and other related social and political cultural issues. In the pathway, Sound Arts Experimental Music, again, we have this really solid basis of sound arts curriculum, which is extremely broad. And in the pathway of experimental music, we're encouraging you to really develop sonic experimentation in terms of composition, performance, instruments and improvisation. That could be improvising experimental music, producing releases, doing events, getting involved in all different ways, given that we're in London with its extremely kind of rich and exciting experimental music scene. The first year of the course, so on both pathways, we will introduce you to key creative approaches, technical skills, contextual and critical knowledge, as well as the communication skills associated. And then within this year, you'll have your specialist pathway unit, which will help you grasp the fundamentals of sound design and grow your confidence, as well as presenting to your peers. Likewise, in the first year of Sound Arts Experimental Music, you'll be developing all of those necessary fundamental skills, as well as helping you really get a firm grasp on the core tenets of experimental music practices over recent decades. Another things that you'll have access to on the course is our weekly Sound Arts guest lecture series, which students really love and I love as part of our course. So we get an amazing kind of range of international and internationally active artists, designers and practitioners, and they invite us into their practice on a weekly basis. It's also an opportunity for you to connect with these external guests. That really brings so many exciting and kind of cutting edge practices into the course. As mentioned, we have the CRISAP Research Centre located right here at LCC, and you can see some of the recent activities of the Research Centre, including the book Sound Arts Now by two professors who also teach into the course, Kathy Lane and Angus Carlisle, and also a recent conference on sound and gender, which took place in Tokyo. This is an example of a student blog, and we like to kind of vary the assessment forms to be really forward-looking on the course. So it's not just kind of traditional forms of assessment, which you will also do, but we also have blogs, so you can kind of show us your working process, which we think is really valuable for creative education, kind of showing us your explorations and experimentation, kind of learning where you failed from, and kind of developing it into something new. And as I'll come to talk about later, we also are really proud of the audio paper as an assessment form, which we offer as an alternative to the dissertation, to the classic written dissertation in the third year. Moving on to the second year. So this is when you're kind of expanding your skill set and specializing in your chosen areas. So in both pathways, you'll take a specialist unit, which currently can offer things like sound for spatialization, which if you can see the room that I'm in right now, it's got a multi-channel octaphonic ring with 8 speakers, actually more speakers than that, but 8 are hooked up in this formation currently. So you can do a unit around multi-channel audio. We also offer currently a specialist unit on hardware hacking and instrument building. So that's really great for students looking to explore kind of electronics and creative coding. And we also offer a specialist unit currently on sound for screen, so sound design and composing for film. In the year 2, you're really developing those skills and choosing what you're going to specialize in. You'll also undertake like professional facing opportunities, collaborations, both within UAL. So here we've got loads of other degree programs like games art, games design, film and TV, animation, virtual reality. There's lots of opportunities to collaborate with those students on their projects and make the music or sound design for their work or collaborate on your ideas with them. Similarly, the experimental music pathway in the second year, you're expanding and deepening your knowledge. You're choosing those specialist units alongside the pathway unit for experimental music or sound design in the second half of the second year. We also provide opportunities for engaging with the public. One of the things we're really proud of, which I'll come on to talk about next, is the sound installation gallery unit, which we offer in the second year as a really exciting opportunity for students to explore sound in space in a kind of fine art, contemporary art setting. On this slide, you'll see some of the works from the student exhibition recently, which is really fantastic, what students can kind of accomplish when you give them the space and the invitation, and they always develop really unique and fantastic, surprising, innovative projects, which are presented to the public, and we normally do a performance evening alongside that. So you'll see that in this next video that I'm going to show you. Offered within the BA Sound Arts course, so on either pathway, are sandwich years. So the first of these is the Diploma in Professional Studies. So these are optional year-long sandwich courses. The DPS year allows you to undertake some internships to really build your work experience. And we've had really brilliant success with these over the past few years, and students coming back with a real insight into the world of work and how valuable their skills really are in the real world. So that's an option for you to take as part of either pathway. Another really popular option is the UAL Diploma in Creative Computing, which is run by our colleagues over in the Creative Computing Institute. And there you will learn creative coding, creative problem solving, digital innovation, and that really helps prepare you for the kind of really fast developing digital industries. In either case, if you take one of these extra diplomas, you'll graduate with a kind of extended title on your degree. In your final year, it's really about deciding where you're going to specialize and developing a really significant portfolio of work based on your chosen specialist area. As mentioned previously, you'll choose a topic for your research project, and we give you the option of either doing a slightly more classic written dissertation of 6,000 to 8,000 words, or we're very excited to be at the forefront of this quite new form of academic research called the audio paper or the audio essay. And so you can choose between doing the dissertation or a 30 to 40-minute audio essay where you can work creatively with sound as you present your research about sound and sound arts. In your final year, we also give you some really fundamental skills that are preparing you for professional life, post-graduation, and helping you explore the different career paths that you might want to pursue. So here you'll see the college-wide facilities that we would normally show you around on an in-person open day. Particularly to mention are the Creative Technology Lab, which specializes in creative coding, physical computing, projection mapping, extended reality, and machine learning. So that is available to all LCC students. In addition to the 3D workshops, so they have wood workshop, plastics workshop, and digital fabrication, things like 3D printing. And that offer really enables some of the students who are interested in developing their own musical instruments or interfaces to literally kind of fabricate those, finalize, like design them, finalize the design, redesign them. So that's a really fantastic offer. We also have the kit room, which is basically your store for borrowing out really state-of-the-art technical equipment during your time here as a student. In addition to that, we have our specialist facilities. So the room I'm currently in right now, the performance lab, we have a composition studio, which has Genelec monitoring for Dolby Atmos and ambisonic mixing. On the right-hand side of this slide, you'll see the Foley studio, soundproof space for recording, including like the Foley traps in the door. So if you're kind of doing the Foley recording on gravel or wood or concrete, etc. And yeah, the room that I'm in now, the performance lab, which is a multifunctional space. So some of your classes take place here, but you can also book it and use it. Again, full range of Genelec monitoring in different kind of configurations, octaphonic, 7.1, 5.1. We host listening workshops. You can undertake multi-channel mixing, recording here. Not pictured is also an additional room where we have a synthesis workbench with loads of hardware synthesizers, which can also be MIDI controlled and tracked using the mixer interface. One of our recent graduates now moving on was William Carr-Keat, who graduated in 2023. Just to give you an idea of some of the career paths that our students go on to. Will is now working as a film composer's assistant for two really acclaimed composers, musicians, Matthew Herbert and Jerskin Fendricks separately. So Will worked on the two Yorgos Lanthimos films, Poor Things and Kinds of Kindness. He's also technical facilities coordinator at the Margate School, which is a not-for-profit art school and creative community in Margate. He's also working as a freelance sound artist and composer. Also to mention, we're very proud that one of our graduates from 2009, Lina Lapalaite, was awarded the Golden Nika at the Venice Biennial in 2019, and Lina composed the score for Lithuania's winning submission, Sun, Sea, Marina. So yeah, just some of the amazing destinations that our students get to. Next, I'd like to show you some of the student work produced on the course. So the next video is by Hanifa Udin from 2024. Hanifa actually collaborated with some animation students from within LCC, but this was her project. She storyboarded it and worked collaboratively with them. And she did the sound design for this short animation, which focuses on struggling with mental health issues. Yeah, it's an animated audiovisual piece. moving on now, just sharing some of the feedback that we've had about the course and what students say they liked about the course. So our amazing teaching and facilities. We give you a lot of freedom, so we really encourage kind of independent creative sonic practitioners to develop their own creative selves and think about how sound can be used to help transform the world. Yeah, we've been praised for our visiting practitioners, and some students have really taken to the kind of proximity to research culture, as mentioned through the MA and the PhD student community and the research centre. We provide a lot of public opportunities to showcase your work, so whether that is in the gallery exhibition or concerts and live performance scenarios, which we are keen to ensure our students gain experience in, and we try to make it all-round and inspiring environment to be part of. So just a few more words about the course. So we try to schedule classes over 3 days. So you've got the rest of the time for independent study. Independent learning is scheduled for about 25 to 30 hours a week, and scheduled teaching is usually 10 to 15 hours. We have connections with RMIT University in Melbourne and UTS in Sydney. So you have the option of studying abroad on a student exchange as part of the course as well. And there's loads of other support for our students here at LCC and UAL. So technical support, academic support, language support, as well as pastoral, tutorials, peer learning, industry mentoring and employability. There's loads of other support available to you as students, and student services too, as shown on this next slide. And so to come to a close, just thinking about how you might apply for the course if this sounds like it might be for you. Applications are made through UCAS or for our international applicants direct, including through one of the official representatives in your country. We look at your personal statement, so there's no portfolio submission for our course, and there are some advice films you can consult on YouTube. Just some notes about what to put in your personal statement if you're applying for these courses. Just please invite us into why you're interested in the topic of sound arts, what experiences you have, educationally or otherwise, that have influenced your passion and desire to study sound arts and to work creatively with sound and music. Any life experience or work experience, any skills, but as mentioned previously, we don't expect you to necessarily have those skills when you come to us. We provide a lot in that foundational first year. And tell us a bit about your plans and ambitions and your kind of future career goals. That helps us understand if you're a good fit for what we offer here. So I'd like to thank you for your attention, and I hope that's been informative, and we'll maybe see you here at LCC Sound Arts in the future.